Guys, today we'll be discussing how to plan a successful trip to Parvati Valley in Himachal Pradesh for 1 week in under 10,000. When I'm saying 1 week, I'm talking about 6 nights, 7 days, purely Parvati Valley. So if you want to do it in the budget, remember one very important golden rule is don't go start your trip on the weekend. You can be there for the weekend, but don't ever start your trip on the weekend because that's when it's extremely costly for a bus ride from Delhi to Kasol. It will cost you anywhere between 1000 to 2000 rupees for a one-way bus ticket. The best way is to start your trip midweek, that is anytime from Monday to Thursday, to avoid getting the weekend costing. So this is where you will save up big time. So if you're starting your trip say on a Monday, your bus ticket should be anywhere between 800 rupees to 1200 rupees, not more than that. Once you've reached Buntar, you can take a bus to Kasol. To take a bus to Kasol, there are plenty of local buses which leave from Buntar bus stand and reach Kasol in an hour or hour and a half. These buses can easily be found. Don't ask the taxi guys because they will tell you there is no bus to Kasol. So once you get off the bus, the Volvo bus, you can just ask any local fruit seller or shopkeeper over there and they'll guide you to the bus stand. It's a downhill road. Once you reach the bus stand, you'll see a board which is saying Manikaran or Barsheni. Get onto the bus because this bus stops at Kasol. The bus ticket will be roughly anywhere between 60 to 70 rupees. So now you keep a tab. Your bus from Delhi to Buntar would be around 800 rupees. Your bus from Buntar to Kasol is another 70 rupees. So that makes it close to around 800 rupees, 900 rupees. Then once you reach Kasol, there are plenty of options for accommodation. You can stay in a hostel, you can take a room for the night. It's up to you how you want to stay. A real backpacking trip would be taking either a budget room or a hostel. A hostel bed on a weekday should not cost you more than 500 to 600 rupees. A room around 800 to 1000 max. So if you opt for a room, keep an average of 1000. So you're already down with 2000 rupees and it's just day 2. Kasol can be explored on foot. You don't need a vehicle. You can go around everywhere in the town of Kasol on foot. The entire town of Kasol is at a radius of maybe 2 kilometers max. So everything, including Chalal riverbank, is walkable. So that's day 2. Day 3, you can spend another day in Kasol. If you do so, your tariff would go up to another 1000. So that would become 3000 that you have spent so far. Or you can go to a village close by, that is either hike up to Rasol, hike up to Grahan. Again, if you're going to Rasol or Grahan, you'll find a room in either of the villages for roughly around 500 to 1000 rupees, which would include 500 would be just for a stay, 1000 would be with stay and your meals, veg meals that is. Or you can take a bus and you can go to Tosh. The bus won't take you all the way to Tosh, it will take you to Barsheni. From Barsheni, you can take a taxi or you can walk up 3 kilometers to the village. The choice is yours. If you're on a shoestring budget, then you can definitely walk. It's an easy walk along the road to reach the village. In Tosh, again, there are plenty of hostels and budget accommodations. So it would cost you approximately the same amount that you would spend in Kasol, 500 to 1000 rupees. So day 3, your tariff for your spending for the trip has gone up to around 3 to 4000 rupees. Then day 4, I would recommend that you go definitely to Tosh if you spend 2 nights in Kasol. And once you are in Tosh, you have options to just wander in the village. Most people go to the village for the narcotics, but I would strictly recommend you not to venture into that area because it's pretty risky and it would blow your budget out of control. Day 5, personally I would recommend taking the trek to Kir Ganga because that's a must do thing when you're coming to Parvati Valley. It's a 13 kilometer trek up and down. Now Kir Ganga, if you're traveling solo, you'll have to take the entire tent, which is roughly around 1500 rupees for a person, 1500 to 1800, which includes all your meals. This is how the new system is, that you have no option of taking just a stay, or you can't, or pitching your own tent isn't possible. So far you must have spent like around 6,000 rupees and you're already on day 5. Day 6 you come back down. from Kirganga, and you can take a bus directly from Barsheni straight to Buntar, or go straight back to Kasol and spend another night in Kasol, or explore Kalga and Pulga. That entirely depends on you. So this is entirely, you spend around 7,000 rupees, but this excludes your food and your return bus back. So your return bus would be again around 1,000 rupees, so that makes it 8,000. And now when it comes to food, the options are unlimited. You can have a thali and live on parathas, which is really economical, which would be around 500 rupees per day for all 3 meals, or you can go lavish and spend even 5,000 rupees per day on your meal, depending on what you want to eat. But if you want to really rough it out, you stick to veg food, because food is one area where you really end up going beyond budget. Most people end up screwing up their entire budget for a trip to Parvati Valley because of the food. One thing is, they end up smoking up and they don't realize what they're eating and what they're ordering, because you start craving for sugar because you get a sugar rush, and that ends up with you having things like Nutella pancake, waffles, and then once you see, your entire budget for the trip is gone beyond what you imagined. Now if you're planning on going to the village of Malana, there is a bus which goes to Malana every alternate day. That's the cheapest and the most economical way to get there. But then again, the bus stops and comes back and you won't make it in time. So on a solo trip, getting to Malana is pretty costly if you want to hire a taxi. Other than Malana, all the other villages in the valley are very easily accessible. Just keep in mind that the bus goes all along the route. You'll just have to walk and hike a bit more. But it is easily possible to explore Parvati Valley in a budget of 10,000, provided that you stick to keeping things very minimalistic with your accommodation. Your transport buses are there. Every half an hour you'll get a bus, and avoid wasting money on food.